you think about what you've got going on, your pieces you have around you going into this season?
Extremely excited. The vibe, the work these last few weeks has been really good. It's going to be an extremely interesting season. This summer we've met a few times and just hanging out, just getting to know each other. Getting to know each other ins and outs. What you like, what you don't like. It carries over to the court. So that's where we are. The guys have been working here all summer. I mean, since Eric signed here, he's been here with the training staff and the gym. So it's gonna be fun.
You did the players-only mini camp last year out in California. You did it again this year in Miami. What was
twice.
Oh, and you did one in Vegas too, I guess, right? What was different about this one, and how much of that stuff will help you going forward?
Like I said, just to get to know somebody, getting to know somebody and hanging out. It was really good. Just obviously we worked out, but we went to dinner. We went to a concert. So that's going to carry over, onto the court. Ryan, guys like that just told me, this is your team, you're the leader. We're going to follow you. And so that right there gave me confidence to go out there and know that, I got guys following me, and I just got to go out there and hold up my end.
You use the vibe. You use the word vibe. Trevor used the word vibe. It's a good vibe. A year ago this time, this team's coming off the Western Conference Finals. Wasn't the vibe there? And what's different about it?
I mean, it was a lot going on. There was a lot going on, and then obviously, first few weeks, Mikal was gone, so it was just a lot of distraction, a lot going on last season. Obviously we got new coaching staff, new players, and so I'm making a point and effort to know that everybody's on the same page. Whether the coaching staff, whether it's the training staff, whether it's the players, and front office as well. We all have one goal, we all have one mindset, and that's to win. And if you're an outcast, you're gonna feel bad about yourself because everybody else is gonna be on the same page.
How are you physically? Last year, how are you physically? Last year you had a sprained ankle coming into camp. Couldn't get really in conditioning. How are you now?
Perfect. I've been in the lab all summer.
What would you consider a successful season for this team?
Championship.
Is that realistically? Realistic.
I think we have more than enough, in that locker room to win, and we're willing and able to compete with anybody on any given night.
James, a lot of people, everybody has talked about how much you step into this leadership role, how much they are looking forward to working with you as a leader. What have you done, and how you look at yourself differently? Talk about the James coming into this season.
Honestly, last year was frustrating. Numbers, for individually was pretty solid, but just the love and the excitement, wasn't there, and so I had to look in the mirror this summer and realize that I got to change, and I gotta get back to how I was, and so my focus level, the things that I can control, I have to be a lot better at. And then once I get myself figured out, then I can help others. And so that was one of the main things that I focus on this summer. And so that's why I'm in a good place right now. I'm excited, and that's why I gathered the guys together to get this thing going.
James, you got to do some promotions and ads in the offseason. One of them they just had out was the Samsung one, and the guy that first thing he even makes fun of you and calls you out on your defense. When you hear that, are you okay that he makes the jokes?
Yeah,
how is it?
It's funny.
Is that good that you can laugh at yourself?
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, it was frustrating last year. Wasn't good, for me, and so I got to be better, and I will be better. And so that's where we are. And like I said, I looked in the mirror. I figured out that I got to be better, as a basketball player, as a person, and then it'll be easier for me to lead.
Do the critics annoy you a little bit, or is it just kind of white noise?
It's white noise, because I'm more than capable, and I mean, I know I can play defense and offense. I'm one of the best players in this league, and so like I said, last year was just a blur. It was just everything was happening so fast, and we all go through it in life. We all have bad days, bad years. I mean, who doesn't? But it's the bounce back that makes you stronger.
James, there's a sense that your playmaking ability gets overlooked. Do you feel like D'Antoni will really highlight that from your game this year?
Yeah, for sure. That's what he does. He makes really good players, better players, and he has a formula that has proven it worked. And then obviously, Coach D'Antoni is our head coach, but our assistant coaches are extremely, they've been in this game for a long time. And you're talking about, Jeff Fizdelic, who's been, Memphis' defensive coach, and their backbone defensively for the last several years, and we all know what Memphis did defensively. So we have a really strong core coaching staff, and all we have to do is just listen and go out there and hoop.
Have you talked with Fizdelic about how they attack you in Memphis and how other teams
Every day, and it's different. Like since he's been here, I've been here for the last few weeks training. I mean, just we go over principles, we go over different techniques, we go over your footing, just those small details that can help. And that's something that we hadn't had the last few years. So just those attention to detail things that's going to help us. That's why I said the vibe is different. Guys like me still need to be taught.
Can he help you offensively? Because
Yeah, for sure.
He has schemed against you.
Yeah, for sure. So I hope we have some big games against Memphis next year.
There was a career high assist last season with this team not really shooting a 100% from threes. How excited are you about having Eric and Ryan on your team, given your playmaking talent?
Right. Those guys can shoot out the ball. They that's what they do, and I'm more excited because you got space. When I got space, it's difficult, but like I said, we've been here working extremely hard. Clint's got a lot bigger, stronger. He's prepared. Obviously, we had a big like Nene, who I didn't know he can pass like he can, but he's a really, really good passer. Another leader. You have all these guys. All these guys that are great character guys, but wants to win. And then that's a success right there.
James, you get better as a leader. Trevor said that the team is willing to run through a wall for you. When you hear something like that from one of the guys, one of the veterans that has been around this league for a while, how does that make you feel?
It means a lot, man. And that's I don't bigger myself up. I'm with these guys too. When I make mistakes, I tell them that's my bad. I messed up. It won't happen again. And that right there, me not hiding anything. I put the same work in. I put work in. I don't distance myself from them. We're all in this together. And that's the culture that we're building. And so everybody's held accountable. So I make a mistake, I want the rookie, I want anybody to come tell me, yo, you made a mistake. Don't let it happen again. And don't get in your feelings, because we all have one goal, and that's to win. So that's the direction we're headed in, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you feel like you
Was
crossed
your leadership
over to-
inhibited before?
Do you feel like you've taken a step and kind of crossed over, like to, I'm a veteran now? I mean, you're still young chronologically, but do you feel you've made that step?
Yeah. I mean, I always got room to grow as a leader, as a person, but like I said, I always can improve, and I think that's one of the areas that I improved in this summer is just holding myself accountable and not looking anywhere else but myself.
Was your ability to be a leader, be this leader, inhibited before?
I mean, we had another leader, last year, so we all, it was, he had his opinion and his voice, and I also had mine. So obviously, teammates aren't going to be on the same page at all times, but we had some good years.
James, do you expect there to be anthem protests in the NBA the way there have been in the NFL so far this season?
There might be. It just depends on who the person is and their opinion and their beliefs. So I mean, it's a lot going on. Obviously, we all know that, and it just depends on the individual.
Do you expect this team or you personally to do?
Like I said, for our team, it's the individual's preference. I don't know what those guys are thinking in their head, but for our team, we're not going to let that affect what we're trying to do as an organization. But it's just a free country, so it depends on how they feel.
You see other players do it, Colin Kaepernick, obviously, he's at the forefront of it. What are your thoughts when you see those players?
I mean, powerful statement, man. He's standing up for what he believes in. You know, devastating that all these people are just dying for no reason. Their families are grieving, and it's a tough situation, especially from men and women who they're supposed to be protecting us. But like I said, each individual have their own beliefs and how they go about handling it, and you got to respect it.
When you have the kind of year you had last year statistically, and you don't get named to any All-NBA teams, A, did you take it as a slight, and B, did it serve as any motivation for you all this time?
Like I said, I get motivation from anything. Yeah, but I mean, when the last time that happened? Somebody averaged 29, 7, and 6, and didn't make any NBA team. But motivation, that's it. Just got to be better. You don't blame anybody. You don't criticize anybody or what should have been done. You look in the mirror, look at yourself, and say, be better for next year.
There
That's
seems to
it.
be a theme about communication from all the players that we've talked to so far. Is that a product of the new coach and so forth?
Yeah.
Or is that organic?
No, that's organic, and that's the way we're going from here on out. Communicate. If you feel something, just say it. Talk. We can't read minds. There's too many guys in this locker room in the coaching staff to read minds. So that goes with anybody. Don't be afraid. If you're a rookie and you got something to say to me, say it. That's what makes it more genuine. It makes it more organic.
Is that a lesson that you learned from what happened last season, or you learned that you need to be more vocal, or just vocal in a different way?
No, it depends. You got certain players who you can't approach like other players. So that's another aspect. But communication is the biggest key to anyone's success. And if you don't communicate, like I said, there's just too many guys in this locker room to read minds. Certain guy might be having family problems or problems at home that, he comes in and just having a bad day. You can't. It's just a lot. So communicate, lay everything out on the table, and then we'll go from there.
James, do you feel with all the stuff that y'all guys organized in the off season, do you feel that maybe there's a little bit more chemistry heading into the start of this year than years past?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't like to keep going back to Oklahoma City days, but that's what made us so good because we were like always together on the court. Off the court, like going into movies, just doing those small things, and that translates to chemistry, translates to